Greetings, assalamu alaikum. We're off to another show here at Conversations Over Pie. And do I have a treat for you? So this week, of course, our show is brought to you by Imani's Original Bean Pies. Our featured pie today is our bean pie with the homemade cream cheese frosting on top with blueberries inside. You can get it fresh today at Mama Africa's Marketplace. That's 2100 East 71st. One of our great partners. You all go by there. If you don't get there today, definitely come tomorrow, where we'll have our Feed the People program going on at 5 o'clock p.m. Come on by. You can purchase the cream cheese pie with the blueberries if there's any left. And come on by and break bread with us. We're going to have some great cooked food and community music and lots of fun. Today, I have a special guest because this guest is actually my teacher. So any of you that may know or may not know that I am a Kidokai, meaning I practice a martial art called Aikido. So I'm very honored today to bring before you my guest, and I'll go over my featured artist later, somewhere in between, hopefully. But we're going to bring on my guest, Professor Joaquin Jackson. Welcome, Professor.
Good afternoon.
Us.
And wa alaikum salam, sister.
It's an honor to have you on our show, Conversations Over Pie. We got a lot to talk about because we want to get started with you introducing yourself.
Well, all I have become up to this point is based on the power of the I am.
Yes.
And I am an ambassador for the Creator here on earth. And however it is that he utilizes me to utilize the gifts and talents that he's placed within me. Aikido is one of them.
Yes, sir.
Take a raw talent and then blend it into Aikido, which is the philosophy of love, peace, and harmony. And then to extend that to people, regardless of whatever their religious preferences are, but letting anyone that's willing to learn and know that nobody owns the power of the Creator, but it's available to anyone that's willing to accept the power of the Creator. And this has just happened to be one of the forms in which you have shown up in teaching, training, learning martial arts over the years. And it's not all based on you fighting or winning a fight with someone else. It's the biggest fight that you ever gonna be in your life is with yourself.
Yourself. Yes, sir. And we talk a lot about that in regards to self-defense. Self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Self being the first word in that.
Absolutely. You must have read my book.
Yes, I did. And I want to talk about that too, because you wear a lot of hats. God has blessed you to do many things, martial arts in different styles. We talk about Aikido, but we know that you do different styles. You're also an author.
Yes.
Right?
Published.
A Tai Chi instructor as well.
Yes.
I definitely want to talk about the Tai Chi and invite our people to that. Someone wants to know before we could even go, what is the book title? Tell us about the book first.
Well, actually, there's several books. The first one, I was blessed to be requested by Mr. Washington. I had taught his daughter for several years over at Oakdale Christian Academy.
Yes. And
God had blessed him, put it on his heart to bring Black men together to write a book. And it's on Amazon. It's called The Secrets of Black Men. And what's so important, so everyone that's online, hear this. When God impregnates you with an idea, move forward and bring it into manifest. And the reason I'm saying that is because Mr. Washington added several of his brothers to be co-authors with him in the book called Secrets of Black Men. And one of his brothers just passed here recently, who was one of the authors in the book. Had he not acted on the idea in which God blessed him with, he would have never gotten his brother to be one of the co-authors in the book. So not only does the relationship of him and his brother live forever, but it lives forever in a book as well.
That's right.
When you allow yourself to be a vessel, that's a voice, a solution for God in this earth, you will reap a harvest. How can you say you will reap a harvest? Huh. Because you woke up this morning, he placed you on his VIP list. Because there's something more for you to do, have, and to be in this life, so that as he allow your light to shine, not for you, but so that mankind, male, female, boy, and girl, will glorify him and help them change their lives or better their lives for the greater. The one thing that I keep teaching on when I teaching martial arts, this constant freshness going on, you can receive the divine ideas, guidance, and protection that has already been ordained for your life, your world, your affairs. And so, martial arts is not just on a physical level. Actually, I believe and I've witnessed it on a different level, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, excuse me, and financially. If you're doing the work, if you're doing the work of the creator and preparing people uh, for life, not the tournament, not just for a tournament, but the tournament is really LIFE, life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have to be prepared for it. And how do I get prepared for it? There is a portion that's called surrender.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the Japanese terminology, but that's not what you came for. You came for, if we're breaking eye together, like they do in London, it's tea time and crump time. We're doing breaking bean pie time together. But also, there has to be an exchange of knowledge. So that it's not just eating, but we're eating of knowledge so that we can continue to grow and unfold. And the one thing that I keep looking at the dynamics of as to how uh, I received the download. I just cannot talk to one particular group of people, because it doesn't belong to just one group of people. It belongs to everyone that's available. How can you say that? How do you just come up with that statement? Well, oranges are in Florida, peaches are in Georgia, watermelon is down in the South. So if I don't know how to go to these people and have a conversation with them, I'm missing out on a blessing that God has created on the other side. So now I got to go over here and create a relationship with the people in Florida. I got to go and create a relationship with the people in Georgia. I got to go and create a relationship with the people in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when I come with the right intentions and understand that my next right move is the move that God has given me to operate from, I'll never walk into confusion. Let me say that again. If I go with the right intentions to create and build a relationship over here, over there, over here, and over there, I'll never walk into confusion or chaos. Why? Because it says the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. Not just man, but mankind. So we don't get that gender is gender persuasive. No, that's mankind. And so even in the martial arts in Aikido, it says blend, blend, blend. That's creating a relationship. Not coming in and just like, let me just break you up. No, let's even though your statement may have been aggressive initially, if I can create a relationship with you and mine is not aggressive coming back, then you should be able to feel there's a difference in this brother or sister that I'm talking to.
Right.
That this does not have to escalate. But one thing, in order to know that, first of all, I got to know who I am.
That's true.
If I don't know my history, I don't know what's within me, then everything outside of me continues to teach me like Legos. They're going to make me what they think I ought to look like.
Right. Mm-hmm. So did you get all of the books? Did you name the books?
No.
I only posted Secrets of Black Men.
Secrets of Black Men. The other one is Engaging the Voices of Impact and Engaging Speaker. So I have like 4 books. I have like 4 books that I've been able to co-author in, and 3 out of the 4 have been bestsellers on Amazon. Now, let me say this. I never knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that was going to happen. But as I said, if you allow God to use you, He'll open doors for you. Expected and unexpected. Even in this case, like you said, hey, Brother Joaquin, you want to come on? All right. Stay in a spirit of expectation that good, great, and awesomeness is going to come your way.
That's right.
And so the martial arts is really to prepare you to do the will and the work of God, Allah, whatever name you want to give it that makes you comfortable on this line. Because a woman happened to come across my path some years ago, and she indicated to me, she said, if you don't say Jehovah, you cannot be saved. I said, really? I said, well, if you don't mind, can I ask you one question, please? She said, go right ahead. I said, so have you ever been outside of the United States? Have you traveled abroad? She says, no. I said, well, I have. And most of the people that I've encountered didn't speak English. So I had to learn how to say thank you in their language. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Koreans, I stayed in Korea for over 3.5 months. Come samnida. I stayed in Japan for over 4.5 months. Domo. I stayed in the Philippines for over 15 months. Salamat po. And so those people didn't speak English, but they seem to have had a relationship with the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you learn
Mm-hmm.
love, peace, and harmony is not what you say, it is who you become.
That's right.
And it shows up in what you do and how you do it. And then
Mm-hmm.
people, when it says, let your light shine so mankind can glorify God, when you let your light shine, your light is really not being shined on you.
Mm-hmm.
It shine of the gifts and talents, the raw gifts and talents that have been nurtured along the way. So take it.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have said to you when you was 13 years old, Sister Money, see this thing right here, this little navy bean? You're going to be able to take this little bean, almost similar to the size of a mustard seed,
Right.
and affect people's lives in a way that have never been affected before. At 12 or 13 years of age, if somebody would have told you that, you were like, what? Stop playing. If somebody would have told you just because you decided to say yes to a divine idea that you received, that you would be doing a podcast later on in life.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I
Whatever
would
it is,
say no way,
thank you.
because I didn't even like to talk. But you got a lot of people online that's giving you the greetings of us, and Sister KJ Muhammad is saying Assalamu alaikum, Professor Smith, us, and Kalila wanted to point out what you were talking about, behavior.
Oh, yes.
That's something we've been talking about, behavior, emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And,
Well,
when we talk about self-defense,
uh, I
oftentimes,
to
uh-huh.
I just said this to uh, Coach Parker, Sensei Parker. I just said this
Mhm.
the other day. And then I'm reflecting on the fact that when I was in school, at any time that you got in trouble for behavioral issues in school, they wanted to send you to detention.
Right.
But you do not come to realize the power of words until you become a little bit more mature.
Mm.
The word detention is attached to almost the word prison. So what are you really setting me up for? You
Mm.
send me to detention to be prepared to go to prison, or are you sending me to a room where it's that I can reconstruct my behavior and go back to class?
Mm.
So I said to uh, Coach Parker, Sensei Parker, I said, we have to change that terminology and provide a room for children to come in that smells different.
Mm.
But there's a number of affirmations across the room. And then there's no hollering and screaming. There isn't a desk even in the room other than the teacher. But there's a bean bag, or there is a something they may get a chance to just lay down for 15, 20 minutes to reset.
Mm.
But then there's some meditation music going on and a waterfall in the background.
Mm.
Because now, during the time I went to school, grammar school in 73,
Mm.
you can go back and you look at the data of our community is predominantly both two-parent homes.
Right.
But now
Mm.
there's a lot of weight on one parent who's trying to do all things,
Mm.
but not only one child, but possibly multiple of children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some is missing out.
Right. And another thing that I point out too is even when there are two parents these days, they're both at work. all day.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And due to the fact that I was talking to some, yeah, they call themselves educated folks because they had some letters behind their name, or in front of their name. I said to them that the programming that we have received has really caused more chaos than support.
Well, that's by design in many
Oh, totally
cases.
by design. And then when I
Absolutely.
down to them about the design, they go, "Oh, I never looked at it like that." I know you didn't, because it does not affect you the way it affect me.
Mhm.
Due to the fact that I'm a veteran, uh, it troubled me. It troubled me for a moment when I would go to the VA and I would interface with certain other nationalities, and they would say, "Hey, I want to thank you for your service."
Mhm.
Yeah, you can thank me because it has worked out better for you than it has worked out for me. Take a
Mhm. Now another another topic actually that we could
absolutely,
actually discuss
absolutely,
because
absolutely. Now, let me
yeah.
just real quick about the martial arts. I asked a question. I asked a question to several black belts. I said, "Tell me a American martial art, and I'll wait."
Mm.
They was like, "We really can't." And I says, "You know the name that they give when a child is given out of wedlock. I'm not gonna say it on here, but we know the name given, right? So
Right.
all the arts in America are under that because they come from somewhere else.
Mm.
Aikido is Japanese, karate is Japanese, Taekwondo is Korean, uh, Kung Fu Tai Chi is Chinese. So we go to these places and then we bring them back. But overall, there's in certain people's schools that we're glorifying other nationalities more so than we're glorifying the greatest nationality that created all of them,
Mhm.
which is another topic in itself as well. Uh, but for right,
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have somebody that's saying boxing is an American martial art, correct? That was a question.
that's it's not considered when we say martial arts. When we say martial arts, we're not saying in terms of boxing. Boxing is added to martial arts sometimes,
Mhm.
but it holds its own by itself. But when we speak in terms of martial arts, the Budo of martial arts is basically from somewhere else, or it has its roots in somewhere else. But the real root, understand there is a main root.
Mhm.
Start with an A and then starts, then it goes with an F, and then it continues with an R, and then it got an I to it, and then it got a C, then it has an A, and then it has an N. That's the root. Because if you go to any of those countries and you type in the original Japanese, the original Korean, the original Chinese, it will take you back to the main root of civilization.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
what I'm getting to, due to the fact that in this time, and there are a lot of behavioral issues happening in the school.
Mhm.
If you look at these other countries, they have made martial arts a part of the academic curriculum.
Mhm.
So one, you start off with learning discipline and respect early on. And when I said in 73, when I was in grammar school, if there were 30 children in the classroom, you could almost pinpoint that 29 of those children was basically receiving the same rearing. upbringing.
Okay. So I know that we could talk a lot about martial arts,
Hmm.
and I would definitely love to do another show just talking about masters, black masters
Yes, ma'am.
in particular.
Yes.
So, that's a passion for me to talk about that, because we do have some great schools of thought that's made
Also,
to protect us. But when I talk about martial arts and self-defense, we think about breaking, physical fighting and defense. And we do learn how to take somebody apart,
absolutely.
but we also learn how to put them back together as well. And not just an opponent, but even yourself.
Yes.
And so we have another guest that's going to come in. If you can help me with his last name, Mr.
Koger,
Yes,
Albert
Mr.
Koger.
Albert Koger. And he's a good friend of yours and actually a veteran as well, right?
Correct. He's
And
been my friend for over 35 years.
wow.
Met at Chicago State University, ROTC program, Reserve Officer Training Corps.
Okay.
And uh, we jumped out of airplanes and,
Wow.
and became airborne qualified in college. I couldn't become airborne qualified when I was a Marine, but I got it
Mhm.
when I went to ROTC training.
Interesting.
Yes, been
Very interesting.
as a
So,
platoon leader down in California. So I've seen both sides. I've seen being a soldier and being an officer.
yes. So, wow. So you definitely know how to break somebody apart, but you all are going to tell us at the end of this show, as
Yeah.
we, move into the end, ways that I know that you have several ways of helping to put us back together. In fact, when we go to seminars, I may be saying, "Hey, I got an ailment," and probably before I ask for some help, the brothers already lined up waiting on you to perform Reiki and put them back together again. But you all have something else you're going to bring. Welcome, Mr. Albert Koger. How are you today? Welcome to our show, Conversations Over Pie. Okay, my producer. Okay, she brought him on a little premature. So
Okay.
he's going to come back in. We're going
Okay.
to welcome him, and you all will talk about what you have to
Well,
offer in terms of healing.
yes.
In
Uh,
terms of healing,
under,
and you can start us off now. We'll bring him in.
okay then. Well, one there is no separation. There isn't martial arts and then there is healing. It's all one. Now, if you only go to class just to beat up on your classmates, then
Right,
you only delve into one aspect of martial arts.
right,
And it's three pillars: mind, body, and spirit. And the highest level of your training is how can I heal or learn how to heal. Reiki is one. Uh, Acupressure is another. Uh, Acupuncture is another.
ah,
Meditation is so important at the beginning and end of class because if your class goes up in energy and synergy to help you become a better person, but you also learn how to break somebody up. Do you really want to leave out of class on that level
right,
versus let me leave out of class still capable and ready, but let me also leave out of class with self-love.
right.
But
So,
I'm able to transition like the flick of a light switch. Just know you capable of if something else happens.
okay,
But your training must also instill that. Your training must prepare you for that. And so I didn't get here by myself. Sensei Hawkins, my Aikido instructor, God bless his soul, he
Yes.
left us early. Then it was Grandmaster Abdul Aziz, but now it's Doctor, who has been a tremendous help. And then the late
Yes.
Moses Powell, and then my big brother, my big uncle, Grandmaster Bill McLeod in New York,
Yes.
and Dr. Shanique that's down in Miami area. All of these, and Grandmaster Anton has been a part of me being able to even carry the title professor. And I'm still learning
That's right.
to carry that.
As Dr. Abdul Aziz said, we'll always be learning, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so our guest is waiting.
Is you ready?
Yes, and my producer is reminding me to come in. Welcome, Mr. Koger. How are you today?
I am here if you both can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you just well.
Great. And I got to apologize up front for some of the poor connectivity. Can you all hear me?
Oh,
yes,
sure.
sir.
Okay, awesome. All
So
right.
this is my college buddy for over 35 years. My mama just called him her son. But several months ago, he approached me and he said, "Look, this is what I need. Read it, look at this video, and then I'm gonna talk to you afterwards." Now, when you have friends, you can do certain things with friends that you don't do with average people. You can just tell them, "Look at this," and then when I finish, give me your credit card. That's pretty much what he did to me. And because he's my friend, I didn't have to second guess, is he trying to flim-flam me, or are we on some real deal here? And so after I had did my own due diligence, my own research, I said, okay. And once you say yes, and you got to be careful about when people say yes to you. And people have to be careful about when they say yes, what that really entails. When you say yes, that means I want to be committed. But when they say, well, I don't know, they're not committed. But if I give you my time, my energy, and my effort, I'm going to be committed. And so the product that he brought to me was called X39. Say that with me in the background, X39.
X39.
And usually in mathematics, X is the unknown. But it will deliver you to a destination if you stay along with it long enough. And so I'm going to allow him to go ahead and explain what X39 is in his vernacular, that we can touch the people to understand what X39 is. Take it away, brother.
Yes, absolutely. Are we good? Am I being heard, or you're talking?
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear us.
So again,
We're waiting for you to speak, Albert.
yes, I hear you.
So can you
Sister
tell
Monty.
us, we have people commenting.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you, Sister Monty. Awesome. Okay, great. So I'm Albert Koger. As Mr. Jackson has alluded to, we've been friends for years, and we've come up together in Inglewood, inside of Chicago, and we've been in Georgia. Introduced to the product last year, and kind of toyed around with the product for about 4 months. Didn't really pay attention to it. And then after some serious things happened in a few lives of close loved ones, and I started seeing the results of the product that they vet, and I had my own challenges, I decided to go ahead full force into being consistent with this patch and what benefits or outcomes I was going to have health-wise. And so after prolonged use of the product, really starting in February of this year, and again with a host of in the Army, I'm part of that same group. And so I will tell you that using it brought about better health for me. And so because it brought about better health for me, or better health outcomes, I will tell you I had just an intensity to want to share this X39 product created by a guy by the name of David Smith, the scientist and inventor of the product, who I love because the patch has just been wonderful for me. So I began to share this product with like-minded people who wanted optimal health, who wanted optimal financial independence, and basically have a mindset to create generational wealth. And that's what this product can do for any and everyone who has ears to hear. So I began sharing this product like nobody's business. And Jay eventually came in after doing his research, as he's an astute student of knowledge and information. And so he went and did his own background check on the information, his fact checks, and that worked out for him. And it's worked out for so many others who have come on as a part of this team. We really want to serve our community, and I couldn't find a better way. We can't even be that spiritually minded, and we certainly can't be wealth minded if we don't have our health. So this product gives us control of our health by elevating our copper peptides, scientific term, but you can look it up at thisisitinfo.com. But this product elevates our copper peptides, which in turn reactivates our dormant stem cells. Now, most of us go to a primary care physician, and nobody in all of my 32 years of being in the military has ever said to me, hey, did you know your stem cells are dormant? At 30 years of age, you lose 50% of the activity of those stem cells. And oh, by the way, when you hit 60, you lose almost 90% or more of your stem cell activity. Nobody ever told me that. I'm like, are you kidding? So I've got the opportunity to have my stem cells activated again through something called the X39 patch. I'm in. So I got all in, like I said, back in January, February timeframe. And after prolonged use of this product, I just got outcomes that were too good to be true. So I just want to encourage everyone, if you haven't been patched yet, you'll wear this patch for 12 hours on, drinking plenty of water while you're using it. And then you discard it for 12 hours, and then you put on a new patch the following morning. So we say start out early when you brush your teeth. That's when you wear the patch. Put it on and wear it for 12 hours and then throw it away again. You're encouraged to get at least a 90-day supply of the patches for a very nominal cost. The question is, how much really is your health worth to you? So if your health is worth $99 a month plus shipping and handling and taxes, you're going to be okay. So if you do that, you're going to get some special outcomes. We encourage you for every decade that you've been on the planet. So if you're 50 years old, you ought to at least try the patch for 5 months. If you're 70, try it for 7 months. Again, it's a very nominal fee to pay if you've got diabetes, high blood pressure, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, congestive heart failure, diabetes, massive edema, you name it. If you're wearing the patch, it's working. There are 4,000 genes, arthritis, and I have that too. So 4,000 genes in your body begin to reset within the first few days. At 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced, and you say, well, what the heck is that? We're talking about inflammation in a case study that this company has done with a 77-year-old woman. And then in 3 months, your collagen level increases. That is, the production of your collagen increases, and we know that that is the glue of our body. It's like brick and mortar, and it is the mortar of our body. It holds our tissues, joints, ligaments, and bones, all of that is held together by that collagen production. And then finally, with this product, within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. Are you kidding me? This is the first time in known history, at least in my limited time on this planet, and I've got 5 decades, that I've ever heard of someone having a product that will cause my heart to reverse in age. So I just want to encourage you, get the X39 patch and wear it, and don't stop wearing it, because the outcomes that you, your family members, those that you love and appreciate can benefit from this patch. We're building teams. Mr. Jackson is doing the same thing. We're building teams in this community. Colorado, started in Colorado, teams that are started in Michigan, teams that are here in Illinois, and in other places around the country. So this can expand and expand quickly, depending on how desperate you are to have better health. And again, optimal health, optimal financial independence, and to create generational wealth. Now, Sister Imani, it's been said that the lifetime of an opportunity is limited to the lifetime of the opportunity. So we tell everyone and encourage them to get started on the X39 patch. Get started.
Real quick, the
Back
patch
to you.
does, the patch,
Well, I do have I have a testimonial, I'll say. It's a experience that I had with the patch. Professor Jackson gave me, and I put it on my neck, and I have what they call arthritis in my right knee, because many people may know this, right? I stand in the kitchen for hours, and for a while, unheard of hours.
Yes.
And it began to damage my knee. Put the patch on. I didn't really pay any attention, but I noticed I went to Tai Chi class the next day, and I was doing all kinds of squats, no problem. Professor Jackson is my witness, because he's my teacher. But yes, that's my testimony.
Oh, I'm loving that. Yeah.
you also have.
Well, that's outstanding, and I think what Mr. Jackson.
Is Professor Smith on the line?
I was just going to say quickly, I think Mr. Jackson may have.
Is Professor Smith is on the line? He didn't give a testimony as well.
Well, he's been making a lot of comments.
Okay. Now, also understand that there is no medicine in the patch. Mm-hmm. None whatsoever. So if anybody's on any medication, anything, it would not compete with whatever medicine that you're dealing with, and that this patch does not diagnose, nor heal, or cure your body in the
or prevent
any
the sickness
your body
or disease.
Does the work.
Okay.
The light in your body activates your stem cells. But one of the reasons I asked my brother to come on and be a part of this with me is because as I keep looking at this thing in my due diligence, there's $1.3 million on the table annually to be able to do this patch. But we need a community that's committed to going and getting the $1.3 million. So how does that break down? That breaks down to $25,000 a week, $100,000 a month. With $100,000 a month, not only does Sister Imani Bean Pie and podcast go from local, but it goes across the country. Now, as they did with Walmart did with that sweet potato pie, we'll be able to do the same thing for Sister Imani. Mm-hmm. $1.3 million that's on the table that's available to us. Now we have an opportunity to buy the block. Now, when we mention education, with educators on the line, such as Professor Smith, and I have observed this brother from the point that I met him at least 15 years ago. He's always been concerned about educating our children. And I always tease him, and I tease Albert. What good can come out of Inglewood? I know two brothers, two brothers that definitely have changed what Inglewood can produce. So now we're setting it up. That's all we needed was a vehicle. We have a now.
So we're down to 5 minutes left in our show, and my producer is always reminding me. But I definitely wanted to point out, because Conversations Over Pie, we're all things Inglewood. Okay, I raised my children in Inglewood. We're still residents of Inglewood, and we love Inglewood. So that means you're family, brother. Professor Twan is making sure that he let us know.
So much.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir. So
I'm loving that.
What we always end our shows with asking. Well, first of all, I want you all to let us know, how can we contact you to get our X39 patches?
I'm going to be with you tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm coming over to Mama Africa's place tomorrow.
Feed the people.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's 2100 East 71st Street in the South Shore community. So you all come over at 5 p.m. But also give us, do we have a site or anything that we could go to?
Give him the link.
Yes, we do. So you can go to LifeWave. That's right. You can go to lifewave.com, and the search engine, you can put in Joaquin Jackson, or you can put in Albert Koger. That will pull up our member ID number, and whatever services you want to purchase, you're able to purchase those.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do,
if you want to learn more about the company, you can go to thisisit.info.com.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is, once we post this show, we're going to add in the comments a direct link that they can click on.
All right.
Fair enough?
Yes. And so I'll be with you tomorrow.
Fair.
Mr. Koger will be heading to Atlanta for a regional with LifeWave for our group, and he'll be going to do a reconnaissance to come back, bring me the information and things like that, so we can continue to launch, going for this $1.3 million
and grow Chicago.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we always end with.
So again,
we got about. I'm sorry. We got about 3 minutes.
So
I may be going over a little, but we're going to do 3 minutes. And what I want you all to do is to take a minute and a half. We always end our shows. I ask you this: what advice do you have for our youth?
I'll let Brother Koger go first, and I'll finish it up.
Okay.
Okay, sure. So for any youth in the Inglewood community, I would ask you to take your education seriously, to read everything that is available to you, whether it's in school or outside of school. I would ask you to participate in extracurricular activities, keep yourself busy, and leverage the libraries that you have in your community, and stay away from negative people. Stay away from dangerous people, and your intuition will let you know, of course, as you mature, who's good and who's not so good. But that would be my encouraging word to you. And then if you're Christian, if you're whatever faith background you are, try to be true to your faith and the tenets and the values of that faith that you have, and then we'll let God do the rest. Back to you.
Beautifully said, Professor.
Okay, one of the things is scripture, it says, honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days shall be longer upon the earth. And therefore, listen to what your parents are really trying to tell you. They've seen what you're going to see. They've been where you are. And then the other part is, as my brother indicated, education. but also not only within the school, but I think now it's more prevalent. What is it that you're learning when you outside of school? Two things: learn how to not only read and comprehend, but learn how to journal as well, which will help. It says write the vision and make it plain. So if you want to start thinking about what it is that you want to do now to become later, start writing it. Start writing and see what will transpire in your life, your world, your affairs. And as he indicated, make sure you're around positive people, people that are looking to help pour into you and not pour out of you. If they pour out of you, you become POORO.
And then I'll make a final point there since you paused. Do what is right when nobody is looking. Treat people with respect and dignity. Always, always err on the side of what is right. Back to you.
Exactly. So I want to thank you both for coming and having this conversation with us.
Thank you.
And sharing not only, Professor, our love for martial arts, but our love for healing ourselves and our community. And that's what Feed the People is all about. So I look forward to seeing many of you all that have, especially you, Twan, who's right in South Shore, Professor Smith. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at Feed the People, Friday, 5 p.m., 2100 East 71st Street. Thanks again. You've been tuned in to Conversations Over Pie. Yes, we can give ourselves a hand. And I look forward to next week. We're going to bring on more and more new guests, and you all will get to hear from more of our youth, which I'm always excited about. That's doing so many great things. Many of them right from Inglewood, and they're all from Chicago. And we have people that are doing so many great things. You've heard from some of them, Hadia, Shakira, Diamond. Some of them have their own businesses. Some of them are in master's degree programs. Professor Twan, Professor Jackson, you all have taught. So I know that you all be extra proud to see them on the show. I don't want my producer to get upset with me, but I adore her. I love her. She's my youngest daughter, Samira, and she's very good at what she does. Thank you, Samira. And I greet everyone in the way that I can.
Thank you, Samira.
In greetings of peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sister.
I'll see you all in the room there.